before. Hey, we are live. Woohoo. This makes me excited every day when I see that on the screen. Hey guys, I'm so excited. I'm here with Dylan Williams today, CPA. I'm Leslie Bennett, and I'm a Bennett Real Estate Company. Welcome to the Kisker Show, keeping it simple and keeping it real. And we are here talking again with Dylan Williams. This is his second time on the show, and I appreciate you being here, Dylan.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Dallin before we dive right into it. Dallin has 20 years of experience in the fields of accounting and finance, helping business owners set up and manage accounting systems, payroll, and taxes. He specializes in areas of compliance, cash flow management, financial statement analysis, and strategic and financial decision making. Dallin believes that small businesses are the lifeblood of the economy and enjoys helping small business owners by giving them the tools necessary to succeed. So, do you want me to read that about your company too?
It's
Williams
up to you.
CPA? Yeah. Let's do that because we didn't talk about that a whole lot last time. Dallin owns Williams CPA and Associates, who works with business clients throughout the United States. WCPA is a forward thinking firm focused on helping clients navigate the challenges of today's business environment while planning for the opportunities that are over the horizon. Business, off, Business owners often find themselves wearing many different hats. That's so true. And needing strategic advice in different areas. In addition to providing strategic advice, WCPA also connects clients with other professionals who can help the business owner navigate important issues in areas such as legal, employee relations, investments, marketing, technology, and more. WCPA's motto is Your Success is Our Business. So good. And so, a little bit about Dylan. I actually met Dylan probably back in 2010-ish. I don't know if you remember that, Dylan.
It was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was actually the president of a nonprofit, and we just, we knew what we wanted, but it was, how sometimes it's, you know what you want, but it's hard to get it on paper,
Mhm.
or hard to get it all together into a plan. And so Dallin actually met with our nonprofit and helped us, establish kind of our mission and our goals and where we were going. So that was pretty awesome. And also I got to know Dallin through BNI, Business Network International.
Mhm.
I don't know why I always question myself when I say that. And Dallin really has a passion for exactly what we said, and that's connecting with other clients, or with other local professionals, local business owners. And he really, he's I know he's very passionate about that. So, and obviously he's the guy that can. He may not know the answer, but he can connect you with someone who does. That's for sure. So let's just get right down to it, Dallin. The last time you were here, we were talking. It was kind of the beginning of this thing, and now we're somewhere in the middle. And I don't even think I put this question on here, but can I ask you this?
Sure.
So answer the question: Are we in a recession?
So that's a good question. Recession typically is 2 quarters in a row of a certain amount of downturn. And so technically, I don't think that it would be considered a recession at this point because we've actually begun to bounce back. Where we're going to go in the next couple of months, I mean, that's anybody's guess. I mean, it looks like things are moving in the right direction, but this COVID-19 could go any direction. And with states now opening up the opportunity for businesses to jump back into business, a lot of people have their fingers crossed right now as to how that's going to affect the outbreak, whether it's going to start spreading again or whether it's going to continue to shrink. So the last 24 hours, the death count has actually gone down. I think yesterday it was the lowest for a single day within the last 2 weeks. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, that's a good sign. I read something in an article yesterday that I thought was interesting. It said that although by definition we are not in a recession, that history will look back on this time and be convinced that we were in a recession at least through April and June.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was very, very interesting, which I'm like, well, yeah, so they must be thinking we're getting out in July.
Yep.
So, I mean, I know you've continued to be busy. Real estate has really continued to be busy. Not, and I know that a lot of people have lost their jobs, but I still feel real positive about what's coming up. I really, really do. So let's talk Thomasville locally. We've all heard about the lockdown affecting the national economy. You work with a lot of businesses locally. How is Thomasville's economy doing, and how does that compare to the national economy?
So I think you have to talk about different sectors of the economy. So the clients that we've worked with, small businesses we're working with, if you're in the financial sector, so financial services sector, other than the interruptions everybody's experiencing of not being able to connect directly with clients face to face, for the most part, those clients have been doing fine.
Yeah.
Even the medical practices and healthcare, I mean, they've been doing great. Of course, we're in the midst of a health pandemic, right? So for the most part, they're doing good. Now, the dentist office, the chiropractors, some of those ancillary services, I mean, a lot of them are just basically shut down during this time. But if you're a general practitioner or anything that's specifically focused on medical care that's related to the COVID-19, then you're doing great as a business. Retail is where we're seeing the greatest hit right now, is especially brick and mortar retail stores where people walk in and they buy the product off the shelf. A lot of those stores, I mean, some have tried to do sidewalk sales, things like that, but a lot of those stores have just basically shut down for the time being. And so we've got retail clients of different sizes, and we've worked with retail clients of different sizes, and some are doing better than others. The small ones where business owners, it's kind of like a second career, and that are kind of new into the retail are really struggling right now. Those with an established customer base that have a lot of online sales, tend to do better right now. So
yeah. Well, and they tend to do better, I would think, when we're not in this crisis, right? I mean, if they do the mail order, and I noticed that more and more are getting into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how are you helping clients during this as business is slowing down?
So we're continuing to service our clients. Our core services are tax, accounting, payroll, and strategic consulting. And so we're finding that as clients are having to lay off employees, they're actually leaning more heavily on us to get them the answers they need, because the people in-house who would typically give them those answers aren't necessarily there. We're working with clients who are having trouble financially. And so if we have a client that's struggling to pay their bills, or to, even to pay our invoices, I mean, we're trying to work as best we can to help them in regard to that. We're answering client questions. So when clients are asking us a lot of questions about stimulus and things like that, we're doing our best to answer those. And we're even answering questions before they ask the question. So we're sitting down as a team. Typically on Monday mornings, we have a GoToMeeting digital meeting. And one of the things we're doing is saying, okay, what are the questions that our clients are going to be asking? What are the things that they're facing this week? Let's go ahead and start sending them emails. For example, we've got clients who are looking for funding. Maybe they didn't qualify for the PPP program or the EIDL grant loan and grant program. And so we're trying to find other funding grants, private funding grants, and emailing those clients to saying, hey, here's an opportunity for $10,000 that's being, given out to 250 businesses. We'd encourage you to go to this link and apply for that. And then finally, when the opportunities for funding are coming out, we're getting ahead of it and we're contacting the clients. And then we're also connecting these clients with other professionals. If they've got HR questions that require a legal response, we're sending them to HR attorneys that can give them those responses.
Awesome. So what do you recommend for businesses when sales slows down that will actually add to their activity? How can we help them be successful in spite of that?
Absolutely. So there's a couple things. Number one, we're encouraging clients clean the shop, right? So if you're in manufacturing, I mean, that's an actual physical thing that you're doing. You're cleaning your machines, you're fixing your machines. In manufacturing, the time you repair and maintain your machines is during that time when no one's on shift. Well, this is a time when no one's on shift. It's the idea that, now's a great time if localities have the funding to do infrastructure project. When people aren't on the roads, that's when you should be filling the potholes, things like that. So we're encouraging clean the shop, clean up your books, Get your books to a place where you can get solid financials out of that. Write the policies and the procedures that you've been putting off, right? I'll get to that at some point, but I don't have time. Well, now you have time. Take the time, get this stuff done. And finally, look at adding products and services that you can offer. Sit down as a team, or sit down with whoever your think tank is in your business and figure out what are things that we can add, what are services, what are products within our wheelhouse that we can add to help customers and also add new customers.
Right. Awesome. So what are some activities they can engage in right now to sharpen their tools and come out stronger? I mean, is it?
Absolutely. Yes. So one of the big things we're telling clients is get yourself training. If you need to do continuing education, you need to get onto some webinars, you need to sharpen your own skills as a manager, as a business owner, as a leader. Do that. If you have employees that you're keeping on, and for example, through this Paycheck Protection Program, we've got businesses who are continuing to pay their employees, but they have nothing for their employees to do. Don't just let the employees sit at home and do nothing. Line up things for them to learn and to sharpen those skills. Fix your sales pipeline. Right. So everybody's got a sales pipeline from point A to point Z. We go from a cold lead all the way to a hot sale. What is that process? Define that process for your business and fix it. If there's parts in that are broken, so maybe you get through points A, B, and C, and then part D, there's a big hole and things drop through. Fix that. Work on your corporate branding, your logo, your website, the things that describe who you are. Educate your clients, your potential clients, e-newsletters, webinars. Call your customers, call your clients, call your patients. See how they're doing, not just to sell something, but just see how they're doing. Because people don't want to feel like they're just a transaction. There's relationship there. And so finally, survey your customers, gather information on what you can help them do or provide useful services for them. So send out surveys. We're at a time right now, everybody's on their phone, everybody's on their computer. They're scrolling. Give them some useful things to click through and to answer questions. Do some Facebook surveys and just get it out there and gather information, market information, so you can position yourself to be able to run when the gates open.
That is so important, especially that education. I mean, and not just you yourself at getting education, but educating your employees.
Absolutely.
I talked to somebody the other day that said he didn't have anything for his guys to do, so he had them washing all the equipment. Just what you said, cleaning out. Definitely a great time for all of us to be doing that. So you mentioned a while ago that they are not, that some people did not qualify for those PPP loans. What's the status with those loans right now? What's the report on that? Is the money gone, or are they still? Is there still money for people to apply for?
So the original funding was just shy of $350 billion. All of that went in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And there's thousands of businesses still in line. And so you've got businesses in different places. Some businesses, they submitted everything, and the bank even submitted it to the SBA, but it was too late. And so funding got cut off. You've got those that submitted it to the bank, and the bank never got it to the SBA. You got those who were in process, but they didn't have all their paperwork completed. Then you have those who just didn't get around to filing it. Then you got those who didn't even think about it. Now all of a sudden they're thinking about it. And so we're hoping sometime this week, as early as tomorrow, that there may be another $310 billion of funding that's released. And so the challenge is that that's probably going to be eaten up in a few days. Because the order in which you're in the queue is the order in which you'll be serviced. So that company that submitted the paperwork but didn't get the funding because it ran out is going to be first in line. So we're encouraging businesses, if this is something you're wanting to take advantage of, get your paperwork complete, get it to your banker, get in line, and hopefully you'll get through on the second round of funding.
And it was not really that big of we did it here, and it was not that big of a deal, right? I mean, it was pretty simple. We do our payroll with Dallin, so it was just a simple email and an email back. And that was pretty awesome. And then it was just a matter of getting a few financials together. So it really wasn't that much of a job. And they can get the application from their local bank, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. We're really encouraging our clients to work with local banks for a couple of reasons. One is the line's going to be shorter.
Yeah.
But the local bankers tend to be able to service on a more personal level.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you email the banker and say, how do I answer this question? You're more likely to get a response than if you're emailing someone or trying to contact someone at one of the large national bank clearinghouses.
Yeah, and I will add on to that. That is the case when it comes to getting house loans as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hands down. Big companies are great, but when things go awry, and you need to communicate right now,
Can't get a hold of anybody.
no, it is the most frustrating thing. And so, I mean, I'm always pushing local people that I have a relationship with, because those are the guys that are going to figure out ways to help you out for sure.
Absolutely.
So, so all of this is really great information. So, have we left anything out? Is there any other advice for businesses during this unprecedented time?
Absolutely. So I got a couple things. Number one, stay calm. Don't panic. Take time out to refresh and rebound. This will pass. You may have to climb out of some holes, but you have the capacity to do it. Number two, stay focused. Make lists, accomplish tasks, catch up on things you need to catch up on, schedule digital meetings with customers, even if it doesn't result in an immediate sale. Number three, stay balanced.
Yeah.
A little work, a little play. Don't do all work, don't do all play, but keep a balance. Number four, focus on the fundamentals. Managing your cash flow, reducing your costs, adjusting your budget. This is a great time to tweak your budget. Build your budget based on a really thin revenue stream so that when the revenue stream fattens, you've got a lot more SERP on the top there. Number five, be a winner. Remember that in crisis, as in normal times, there are winners and losers. That's something that you have the ability to decide. Don't be fatalistic. What will be, will be. Don't take that approach. Drive your own ship, make your decisions, tell your money what it's going to do, cut the costs, be diligent about. Finally, don't be a complainer. Leaders don't complain. They figure out ways to turn bad things into good things, be creative, just have fun with this. I mean, we're going to be able to look back 30, 40, 50 years from now and tell our kids and our grandkids in particular that we went through this. And they're going to say, Grandpa, Grandma, they're going to say, how did you handle this? Were you one of those ones that, fell apart? Were you one of those ones that pushed through? And we want to be able to tell success stories about how we got through this. And so just encourage it, have fun during the season, focus on the things you need to focus on, cut loose the things you need to cut loose, and we'll get through this. It'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will add to that, one thing that's really helped me, I would really say a couple things, is that surrounding myself with positive people.
That's good.
Because, I mean, if anybody who knows me, I'm pretty much a positive person, but I mean, I do get down. And so having people in my life that can, speak truth to me and also be very encouraging. And the second thing is just by giving back to others. Just participating in some things that are not so self-centered. I know that always helps me, helps my attitude when I, turn the focus from myself and turn it on somebody else, for
Good.
sure. And I think there's plenty of people that, we could help during this time, for sure.
Yeah.
So I always love talking to you, Dylan. You're like one of the most calmest people I know. So I know that one thing we didn't talk about real quick, because I really want to promote you and what you do in your business, because I know you are an accountant. So they've put the filing your taxes off, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that? And I mean, if somebody doesn't have an accountant, how can you help with that?
Yeah, so tax filing deadline and payment deadline as well have both been moved for personal to July 15th. And so we're seeing some clients just kind of slowing down in terms of getting their stuff in. Here's the interesting thing. We've gone to a lot of online meetings for events that we do. And I've noticed something about people who are late to face-to-face meetings. They're also late to online meetings. It's the reality. So, but we're seeing it too. Clients who tend to wait to the last minute to get their taxes filed, you extend the deadline. Now they're not waiting to April 15th. They're waiting until July 15th. Yeah. And so we're encouraging clients, get your paperwork in. The more time you give us to work on it, the more that we can focus in on helping you. And two, we don't know what other stimulus are coming out here that are going to depend on your 2019 return being filed. So one thing we're hearing with the stimulus checks, the $1,200 checks, we're getting emails and calls from clients. I'm looking and my status is showing up as they don't know. There's no status availability right now on my stimulus. And my first question is, have you filed your 2019 tax return? Well, no. Get that filed. You'll get your stimulus check, but if you don't get your 2019 form filed, you go to the end of the line.
Wow.
So be on top of that stuff. We're doing a lot of webinars right now.
Yeah.
We've got one tomorrow at 10 o'clock, williamcpa.us/webinars. And Mark Butler, the commissioner of the Georgia Department of Labor, is going to be answering a lot of the questions that people have in regard to unemployment.
Oh,
because
really?
unemployment in Georgia is just kind of up in the air right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of confusion as to what is and isn't happening. And so, yeah, Commissioner of Georgia Department of Labor will be answering pre-submitted questions. If you have questions about unemployment, I need those by 4 o'clock today. Send to webinars@williamcpa.us.
Okay.
So any of your unemployment questions, send them to me. I'm forwarding them off to his team so that they can incorporate them into the presentation.
Awesome.
And then we've got, I believe it's Thursday. Let me just pull up my calendar here real quick. So Thursday, April Norton, downtown, she works with Downtown Initiative. She's going to be talking on business resiliency Thursday at 10 o'clock. I think that's going to be a really good one to sit in on. And then next week, we're working on some other ones as well. But if you go to williamcpa.us/webinars, you can see all of that. You can also watch our past webinars. We've got about 6 or 8 of those up now. So.
Okay, so if they want to watch the webinar, they just need to go to your website and they watch it directly from there.
They register. They'll register
Okay.
and they'll give them the link. But then if they want to watch it after the fact, they can go to the website and
Okay,
watch
gotcha.
it.
And then if they have unemployment questions, which I have heard lots of people that
Yes.
have that, you would need to have those questions in by 4 o'clock today.
Yep.
And I will post all this information in this post.
Okay.
So anybody that's watching, anybody that's listening, if you know somebody who may have unemployment questions, make sure you let them know about this, tag them in this post. Y'all share this and get this out because Dallin is such a valuable resource. He, if you're not his client, I know he will try to help answer questions. If you are his client, he's been there with communicating with his clients the entire time, not just there to answer questions, but getting in front of it, right? You're anticipating what those questions may be and kind of getting at the front of the line before these problems hit. So, and if you're looking for a CPA, I know Dallin's great. He also offers payroll services. And the one thing that I love about you guys, y'all communicate so well. I mean, we can send y'all an email, ask a question, boom, we've got an answer. So, Williams CPA is a great local resource.
Yeah, I've got to put a shout out. I've got a phenomenal team that helps us get it done. As you know, I don't answer many of the questions myself.
Yeah.
The team handles that stuff, and so I'm blessed to have a great team. That's what it's about, having a good team. That's how you get through this stuff. Yeah,
and y'all have grown lately, hadn't you? Hasn't your team grown? And Williams CPA is located in the Madison Grove subdivision there at the front.
Yep.
Because you've expanded your offices as well.
Sure
Is
did.
that correct? Awesome.
Sure did. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, Dallin, thank you so much for being here today. I want you to stay on because I want to make sure that I get all of this information that I can put in this post. Remember, tag somebody that you know that this information would be good for in this post. Share this, and I'll be here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And so y'all be here with me live again. Thanks again, Dallin, and
Absolutely.
everybody.
Thank you.
Yep, y'all have a great day. All right, see you guys later. All right, bye-bye.